Hello, YouTube. So, Anthony Richardson is no longer the starting quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts. So, for many of you, you probably already know that Daniel Jones has been designated the starting quarterback for the Colts for the whole 2025 season. So, ultimately, what is my take on this? So, I have said from the very beginning that Anthony Richardson was going to be a gamble. That any player that's only a one and done player in college, which Anthony Richardson was only really a starter for one whole year, and in that 1 year he went 6 for 6 and had about 17 touchdowns to like 9 interceptions. Not mind-blowing numbers, but a lot of scouts said that he could be the next Lamar Jackson or Cam Newton with his size and athletic ability. Now, of course, both those two players were Heismans, and Cam Newton did win a national championship. I kind of felt like he was going to be more of like a Dwayne Haskins that did very well at Ohio State for 1 year, went 13-1, but he also threw for 50 touchdowns, was a Rose Bowl MVP. So he had a lot of intriguing things about him as well, and he was drafted by the Washington football team, and he ultimately didn't play out. And the same thing happened with Anthony Richardson, where he was drafted on potential alone. And when you do that, an NFL team has got to be ready for the ramifications of if they do not hit on that player. That if something happens and their development is derailed. For Anthony Richardson, I felt like he ultimately did not have a chance to fully develop in the league. I feel like in his rookie year, the year that you're supposed to be able to make mistakes, because your team's not going to be that good, and if you lose some games, it doesn't really matter because you're a rookie, and they're trying to develop you into their franchise player, their starter of the future. And he ended up getting hurt, and I thought that kind of derailed his entire rookie season. And he wasn't able to play very much. And then he came into his second year healthy, and I thought he was going to really start lighting things up. And as the games went on, some things happened, and ultimately he ended up asking to be taken out of the game because he was tired. And I felt like when you draft a player number 5 overall, and you're trying to develop them into your future quarterback, you don't want them to be pulling themselves out of the game just because they're tired. You want them to be able to play through anything. So I felt like it was a pretty big red flag. And then going into his third year, just the team signing another quarterback like Daniel Jones, who has playmaking experience and plenty of experience playing in the NFL, that's kind of a telltale sign of what the team is hoping to do. They're hoping to bring out a good quarterback competition between their projected starter and someone who could potentially be their starting quarterback. And ultimately, the preseason didn't go very well for Anthony Richardson. He actually got hurt in the first preseason game. He wasn't able to be as efficient as he needed to be, and he didn't look off a linebacker and got hit pretty hard. And then as for Daniel Jones, he did pretty well throughout the preseason and proved that he is able to be a starting quarterback and that he's probably the best quarterback on the team. So where does Anthony Richardson go from here? I ultimately feel like he will be a backup, and that's probably going to be his potential throughout his entire career. Now that he has been benched for another quarterback, he's not going to get as many reps as he would normally be getting if he was the starter. And he kind of let the opportunity fall through his fingers. He did not take the time that he needed to be the best quarterback possible. And it showed on the field. He was not the best. Now, could he eventually play in the future? Absolutely. Could he potentially start for another team? Absolutely. But I don't see him being a long-term starter. Mainly because we didn't get to see too much film in college. He only was there for one season where he was the starter, and we didn't get to see enough of the ups and downs to see how well he could do when the other team is completely stopping him, and he's got to figure out ways of winning the game, not just with his legs, but with his arm, and vice versa, and to see what he can do once he has a good defense that's stopping him. And 1 year in college, they really can't game plan for you because there's not that much tape on you. And so he benefited from that truly phenomenal 1 year. Even though he was only 6-6, he still benefited from that 1 year. So ultimately, I feel like the Colts are going to keep Daniel Jones for a really long time. I could see him possibly even getting extended with the Colts. They're not the best team in the league right now, but I could see them having some success with Daniel Jones. And if something happens, Anthony Richardson could make it back in to play, but ultimately I do feel like he probably won't be there for very much longer. He'll probably be let go in the next offseason, and he probably will be with another team. But we'll have to ultimately see what this season brings to the Colts and to see if Anthony Richardson can eventually be productive. All right, YouTube, thank you so much for joining me for this video, and I hope to catch you on the next time.